Dog fluff. And hello, everybody. We got somebody here within the first few seconds. Now, if you've been to the channel before, I'm curious if you have been, you'll know that sometimes our dog gets a little bit vocal when I either start, I'm on the phone or I start to do a video. It's like he's trying to participate. I'm not, plus, he's taught us that if we give him a treat, he won't be as distracting in the future, whatever. So I gave him a chew stick before I started. He looked at it for a few seconds, like the flashes at the top sometimes do. You might know what I mean. If you don't, you can ask. And then he went and laid in the kitchen. He was making noises. And I guess maybe he heard something outside or whatever. It is possible, of course. But now he's laying down nice. He's not chewing on the thing, but he's laying down nice. So I'll take it. I both want to keep the flow of this going, and also because if I stop and then I start again, saying anything, and I'm glad I didn't have to retype the title. Not that it would have been hard necessarily, but because I had to reload the page to get this to roll, just like seconds after my first try. Oh, I thought that was a different group. I don't know why the reason it does related, but anywho, yeah, then he might get worked up. Although I could pick up that thing and try and give it to him again, I guess. Just looking at, I joined it to be there for others, but also because sometimes I feel I need it. There's a couple groups I'm in, and I thought it said that there was a lot more new posts than what I'm seeing. Maybe there's a couple. Holy cannoli! There's been a lot going on in the neighborhood. It's only been since yesterday. I can't remember at what time. Midday, early, after, possibly before bed. I looked. It's already got a whole bunch of new posts. But yeah, what I'm seeing here is well, I have to quickly take a moment to comment to fellow Canadian. Cambridge, okay. Halifax, Montreal. Okay. That one was new. This one's also new. Good morning. I like that wording. Good afternoon. Good morning and happy Monday to you, or good afternoon if that's more apropos. What a funny word. What do I think of somebody that uses that word? Yeah, so the thing that I have planned for today, I saw something about it in a post in the person left there. I mean, yeah, I got to remember there might always be people that watch us afterwards, but I'd really rather be talking when there's people here that might potentially care to chat. And I've had a bit of a sore throat on and off. I don't know if it's from a dental thing I had recently, a dental appointment. They said there'd be some swelling, and there has been. And or if it was a mild infection, I don't know what it was. Not much of a cough, weirdly, but well, that lady is 78. No way, Jose. I almost got to share this. She's got quite long hair too. You know, Yeah, that's the whole thing. I wrote what she said, but I don't think that she looks that unique that like that she'd be super recognizable. But I'm just surprised that she's 78. Hopefully it displays. It's not even showing very well because of the lighting. Really, usually it does better, but I think it's the lighting of the picture. She's sitting beside a window, so that didn't work very well. Anyway, she doesn't look 78. That's my point. We had two people there for just a moment. I guess maybe they thought, oh, your quality is terrible. You're showing a picture I can't even make out. Sorry. Well, they didn't say that, but and one of them may have came back. Yeah, so I saw a poster online about something that I signed up for to attend today, but now I don't see it there. So I don't know if that means that the spots have filled. Although I'm one of the registered, or if it's not happening. I've been looking forward to it for a few days, um, and I called the office upon opening and got somebody who had no idea and transferred me to somebody else whose voicemail I got. So I'm waiting, and when I get the call, it'll just be a quick answer. Hopefully, I left the details for the event I was or the thing I was talking about. I'm also waiting to hear back from the friend who's going to bring me there. Um, so it's just and I know this feeling somewhat in life more than I might like to at times. But so I'm just it's almost 10 o'clock here, and I've done pretty much whatever I need to do to be ready to go. They are now predicting potentially rain, which they weren't initially, and I'm not sure if I'm going to end up having to bike, which is a long bike ride. So there's also that in the mix. So I just need to be distracted from this possibility of not or from this not knowing whether the plan is going to happen. How about you? How is your day going? Where in the world are you? What time is it? All that stuff. Happy to have you here. I haven't been rolling super long, by the way, but yeah, I see that we got somebody here watching. So, and I got all message live chat showing, so that should include super chat. Really, I hadn't noticed that in the group. It seems to be a mix, I guess, because certain things have gotten comments, which has bumped them up. Because it's a mix of ones from like a few days ago and a few hours ago. That's a silly question, I think. I don't know what I think of the person that asked it. Basically, they're asking, do you ever think about old flames and how they're doing and if they're still alive and that? And he wonders if it's just men that do that. I don't know what I think of. Odo, that lady, I saw her comment on someone else's post and she was very nice. She said, we're all here to support each other, blah, blah. She said a few lines. It was very nice, but she doesn't look very nice in her profile picture. But some people don't have great teeth. This one, on the other hand, looks quite nice. We to the group, I think they mean new. Sounds like he's pretty busy with work and family, though. Two people from the same place in Canada, actually. So, I went to this group because the first 10 minutes of this video, which is about where it's at now, has been a bit quiet. So I was going to see if anybody from here wanted to check it out. But we do have somebody here, so maybe you'll want to chat. That's what the title of this video suggests. And I hope you're having a good day. I'm just kind of starting mine and kind of waiting to to get some answers about the plan that I have. I'm pretty sure that a visit will still happen in person, but it's not planned to happen for another, well, 2 hours. But 2 hours when you don't have a lot of other things going on and you're eager can feel like a long time. Right? So I don't know how much detail I want to get into about what I'm planning to do and why I'm eager, but basically a community event and a get together with a old friend. Well, she is a little older actually too, but someone that I actually had a follow-up with, and I haven't seen her. We've had a bit of online communication, but we really haven't chatted a ton. But she's always been nice and supportive, and mostly I would say, pretty smart. And the person that they were like there for 2 or 3 minutes. Her last name is Million, anyway. 1 in a million. And that was not my actual laugh. It was a bit of a exaggerated laugh. I was watching a game show the other day, and they introduced a contestant, and they said that they had an unusual laugh, and she was as if she was trying to hold back with it a little bit, but didn't last for very long, and I didn't think it was that unusual unless I didn't actually hear it. I don't know if I watched the full show for whatever reason, but yeah. But I don't get it. I don't get. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like I'm judging people because that's not who I am. At the same time, people post in this group that they're looking for new friends, and there she's kind of smiling. They just look mean. Like some people don't seem to mind this, which is, again, and like this particular person's got a kind of, well, maybe, if they don't like their smile, then, or they have a RBF, I believe they call it, then okay, kind of thing. Anyway, I'm not trying to be mean, like I say. Yeah, I also don't get long nails, but at first I was like, what country does not have 4 seasons in one day? Or 4 seasons, but in one day. Yeah, that's the. Okay, well, she has to stop. I did hear from the one person already. Actually, sounds like she's already planned to come half hour earlier, and she has something she has to do before she gets here, which is amazing. This is going to be quite a busy day for her. But yeah, so still, that's 2 hours away. My throat's actually not too bad, and I'm not going to be the only one. And I don't even have to talk like that. But I want to look at Miss Hoop's uh, posts again later. There's two of them, kind of, and one of them got a comment that was as if he didn't even read the post. That kind of stupidity. We got two people that just tuned in. Welcome. I'm sort of multitasking. Yeah, this thing that this friend sent me, I don't think that I need to reply to it. I can wait till in person. So that's good. I know, and both the people left are like, "What do you mean you don't want to reply to a friend? You have to have somebody to reply to, or I'd die rather to. No need to No need to die. That's a funny phrase. No need to die. It's a weird way to spell that name. I never understand, like, two or three maybe, but people when they type something, unless it's a sticky key or whatever, and they hit more than one. I might also go up for lunch if hopefully by the time my friend gets here, I'll know whether the thing's happening. If we haven't heard, we might try and go and try and find out. And if it isn't, going up for lunch would be nice too. But this was supposed to have a free lunch, so even though I got a bit of money, it never lasts, and I don't have a consistent income right now. So yeah, I don't know. Some people may say, "Oh, we'll be on YouTube." Some people make their income on YouTube, and I'm always looking for opportunities. So um, but yeah. So how's everybody else's day going? I haven't been rolling super long. We've got one person here right now, and yeah, I'm just kind of multitasking. I'll look at the chats if you send anything, but I'll notice if you come and go. Usually, it's amazing some of the lenses on some people's phones. Like, this one's got three big ones and two small ones. I've never seen a phone like that. This is just a really nice photo. I mean, just the way the sun's hitting. Another one that might not show very well on the screen, and I do apologize. Okay, that one does show better. It looks like it's sun going in front of him as opposed to coming to the side of him. Yeah, I'm just here to chat. If there's anything you'd like to chat about, anything that you feel like you need support about, any song you might want to hear me do, it's quite sad because I know that there are lots of people who would love to have people to talk with, even if they make funny faces. I mean, this one looks like that's a really odd picture. Yet 66 people commented it and 35 people. I mean, I don't think I'd be the only one to think it's odd, but and I'm not going to show it because the person might be recognizable, and I'm going to respect them. But yeah, so if you have a side request, anything you'd like to support about or chat about, a favorite topic that you like to talk about, a hobby, I've got some time. Free fire, what do you mean by that, Abdullah? It's funny that it says that there's no viewers now, but sometimes that's inaccurate, but your comment came through right as it said that. Yeah, what do you mean by that? Are you saying that you're available? Fire away with a topic, or what are you saying? And I'm not sure if I could think of one. I mean, I certainly try to, but a video game? I'm sorry, I don't really play a lot of video games these days. We can still chat, although that does sound like shooting game. Um, but I'm almost 40, not quite, but almost 40, and I haven't really played video games since high school. Kind of, maybe a little bit in my 20s, but I guess I did suggest hobbies. So what else do you like to do? And have you ever, out of curiosity though, have you ever played any vintage video games? Like for me, that would be Sega Genesis, Atari. You could even say like arcade games, maybe, but I just don't know if there's enough to really. So this is the first time you've seen my channel, I'm guessing then. And the other person, feel free to join in. Um, you want to talk about my content, okay? And I'm yeah, you the first video of mine you've ever seen, or you want to talk about something you've seen in my other videos? Just to clarify, I'd be happy to talk about that, of course. I do, like I say, I am possibly going to be socializing a bit today. It's just up in the air, so I just want to watch my throat. I could jump right into what this channel is about. I do have videos specifically about that, by the way, but I also kind of want to save my throat and just watch how much I talk. But I'm happy to be here and chat. I did also think that we could also maybe chat in. I could write comments and we could chat in writing as well, just to because yeah, my throat. And we have a second person here. If there's anything particularly you'd like to talk about, that you'd like support about, a song you'd like to hear me do, a hobby you have. Hmm. And now you both left. Oh no, either they both came back or two other people are here. I'm not sure yet. Abdullah, I'd like you to. I don't know if it's I think it looks like Abdullah actually. I'd like you to send what you got typed so far. That way I can start looking at that. Not that I'm not looking at other things, but you have me curious. So if you could just send through what you've written so far. I don't think you're still here. I asked a question. Oh, but you maybe came back. So if it's Abdullah, you know what I've asked. I look forward to hearing your response. If it's somebody else, what would you like to talk about? I got a bit of time. Yeah, no, nothing. Sure, all the stuff because Sherry kind of she might ask me deep questions, which I mean, it's not that I'm against deep questions necessarily, but just thinking about a friend coming over and one of the things we're going to be talking about. But I don't know. I'd rather just say what I want to say about it, and you know, maybe get her opinions. But so how's everybody's day going anyway? Sorry, Abdullah, you're taking an awfully long time. Oh shoot, this is not plugged in. Just a moment. Let me plug it in. We've got three of you here. Feel free to suggest a topic. Ooh, almost got a bit of a show there. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But I'm just waiting to yeah. I should put this up. Okay. Wasn't seeing that at first with the picture. So yeah, what would everybody like to talk about? I've got about an hour, maybe a little bit more than that. I should give an hour 31. I should give myself a little should give myself a little bit of time because one of my plans is for sure happening. I'm just not really sure if the other one is. So, but how's everybody's day going? And if if you're not very much into your day, and you'd like to vaguely or not, or more specifically, talk about, you know, your plans for the day or anything that you hope for the day, we could talk about that. I'll be right back. I know you resettled down and everything. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, because I said a little bit in this video already. Until there's some comments, I don't know if I have a whole lot else to say. Um, but I'm also browsing some stuff online, and maybe that'll give me some ideas. This is kind of an interesting. Yeah, that is a furry yellow pillow in this person's picture. Maybe too yellow and too furry for me. It's pretty. So where are you watching from? And have you ever been to the channel before? 2 to 1, 1-on-1. I did just see something that might be a bit of a topic, because I've noticed it a couple of times in this group, and it's this group I'm in online. It's not about that, but some people in it understandably will post about it. Wanting to be there for people in general, but unsure whether I have the capacity to be there for people who have been in abusive relationships. Keyword have been. Because the person that is, not mature enough to not do that sort of thing to somebody, and who is creating the drama and the conflict and continuing it and all that stuff, aka the abuser. Now sometimes both people have a bit of blame, but sometimes not. Might still kind of be in the picture. Now, if Aaron sees this, I won't say your full name or anything, but I don't even remember it at this moment. I'm still happy to be connected. Not that Aaron, the other Aaron, but both. The Aaron with, well, they might both have 3 kids, although I don't think so. The Aaron that I'm not related to, let's say that. But I'm still happy to be connected, and it sounds like you're kind of moving along with your life quite well. And then also, the other reason is because any of us can have sensitivities. In fact, all of us kind of do, I would say. Therefore, and I almost went on that letter because it's a bit brighter out here, but I don't want to make him get up. A lot of us do. Like, I could call myself an HSP, but I don't think I'm highly so. Most of the time. I think I'm normally sensitive to certain things, that, like, I'm not the only one kind of thing. But people that have been in those kind of relationships and situations, like, one thing, for instance, could they take a compliment without looking at it as being harassing? Because that's not how I'm delivering it. But anyway, I don't know if that's a topic to delve into more, or if there's something else you'd like to talk about, a hobby, an interest, something that's going on in your life that you're trying to kind of figure out, a song you'd like to hear me do. Your first impression of me, if it's your first impression, or if you've been here before. And you don't have to just pick one of those. If you're like, okay, now I don't know where to start, start with one, go to the next, whichever ones you want to talk about. We got two of you here, and I'm happy to have you here. I'll shut up now, just in case you can't listen and type at the same time. Not sure. Some people might struggle with that. And of course, I know some people also. I have to remember on YouTube, some people may enjoy watching the content, but are either really shy or have some literacy difficulties. You know, whether they're because they're young or because of other reasons. So, you know, and that's what's really nice about YouTube, except it kind of takes the engaging, or it kind of takes the back and forth engagement factor out of things. But you can still like and subscribe, and yeah, that's what's nice about other platforms is like you can do audio clips um, rather speech to text, I suppose. Sometimes it's not always super accurate, but there was somebody that tuned in after I said all that. I don't know if they were here a moment ago and heard me say it. I don't really want to repeat it, but feel free to just put a comment and we'll go from there. I am looking at somebody's post in this group, and it could be a very intriguing topic. I'm just trying to process how to bring it into this because I don't know if I'd say it exactly the same way they do. But let's say nostalgia is a part of it. But they also mentioned the emotions you buried to survive. Let them surface, let them go. Don't treat the past like a museum of comforts. Yeah, I don't know if there's as much in that post that kind of jumps out as I thought there might be. Like I say, I know that there are people out there looking for this, you know, kind of offering, you know, if someone to talk to. And this group I'm in shows that. Except, you know, sometimes I'd rather come to YouTube. You know, um, why? Other than to kind of keep up with, you know, at least having at least one daily upload. Um, like there's a part of me today that would rather just be in typing mode, to be honest. But my throat's not too bad. I just hope I don't get it feeling sore again because I need it for later. Like I say, but oh, okay, nope. Oops. Okay. Now, when that kind of thing happens, I don't know if it's telling me something, but I unintentionally clicked out of the group that I was browsing. I don't think I saw all the new posts yet, although, like I say, they were a little bit intermixed. Neighborhood group has 19, so that's kind of crazy. Um, although some of them I've seen, so I don't know. But yeah, so I feel like I'm so repetitive sometimes, but some people that tune in won't have heard me say it yet, in this video or ever. So yeah, just curious, who feel free to put in the chat. Okay, you left, so never mind. That can't in just minutes have 9 new posts. No. I can't say I knew where I left off, but see, they've changed the order now. Partly because of things I've commented rather through it, and partly just because. But yeah, curious to who we've got watching, if you've ever seen the channel before, what some of the other things I usually ask in the video. It is helping pass the time a little bit, even if it's not much of chatting yet. It is because it's about 25 minutes, half an hour has went past. Well, I've been rolling for 37, so maybe that's more accurate. I was looking at the time of day. Give me the time of day, won't you? I'd give it to you. 10:22. Woo woo woo. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm multitasking, but I'll see your comments if you put them. And I do want to turn this light off. I think it doesn't need to be on right now. It might need to be later. Whew. Yeah, he settled down this again. That does kind of make it a little bit, but not like you can still see me okay. So that's the main thing, and that I can see you. In the comments at least. Although at some point you just, how many guitars do you need, right? Well, somebody would have been funny if somebody tuned in right then and said, "Well, I can tell you that I have 15, and I want more." You got to think of, at some point you end up having to neglect them because you just time, and you have your favorites probably, and you can almost say this, but whoops. Okay, now I think that might be. Oh, but I looked at the other group. I was gonna say I think that might be telling me, because it's the second time I accidentally clicked out of the group now. I'll find my way back to it later, and quite possibly. I see it. Quite possibly see some of those posts that I missed the first time. No, I'll work for another half hour. Then we'll go from there. And if this doesn't pick up, I'll have to complain to my friend. This is why, as much as I love being on YouTube, and sometimes the videos do quite well, it's like when they don't, it's like, I need, you know, yeah, either her watching or, more of a balance. More of a balance like what I used to have in life. But again, as I sometimes mention in this in on this channel is some of the challenges, some of the difficulties. And I think they're very valid. It's not just, tell myself something different. Um, Believe me, I've tried that. Today, well, she sounds like she's still available to bring me to the thing and to get together, which is good because, like I say, it's now forecasting and somewhat looking like it might rain. It's kind of like a weird sky, not like a bad storm coming kind of thing, but like a yellow, like the sun is trying, but it's cloudy. Um, but it would have been a really far bike ride, so I'm totally okay not having to do that. Um, I hate to make her use gas to go there if we haven't heard back. So hopefully we'll hear back, which might be another reason to at least wait until when we were going to initially leave to go out for lunch. That's not that long, especially since we have some stuff to look through first. So, and for anybody who's watching this and, the thought keeps maybe going through your mind, I don't know, because I don't know you, oh, it's so cool. He has people to hang out with. I wish I did. If that's you, please realize that a lot of times I don't. Today and kind of this week, but especially today, is kind of a special occasion. It's not that I haven't had that in my life, and it varies, and I do live with somebody who provides nice, you know, it's nice to have around. Uh, but yeah, it's often kind of isolated, and when you don't have both a lot of money most of the time and specific things to go to, um, you know, and sometimes figuring out what those things would be is surprisingly challenging. I don't even know if I know. Start a family, JK. Hello, nice to have you here. Are you is this your first time you've ever been to the channel? We have three of you here actually. Well, okay, so thoughts about family. And I think I know how you mean it, to be quite honest, because we all have a family. Although, in my situation, a lot of them have passed away, live far away, and aren't super strongly connected. Um, I'm actually kind of hoping to introduce my half brother to the channel at some point. But as far as like actually having kids, um, I don't know if I'll just say this. There's a couple of things I could say on that, but I'm not at a spot to be able to do so, and I'm a responsible person as much as I can be. I mean, it does seem like you can a little bit more easily get on assistance if there's kids involved, like government assistance. And actually, I am, but it's like small checks, just enough to make. But you get more, and kids don't need to live they can have a good life without having the newest fanciest things. It's true, but and in some ways I'd be a great father. I think I'd set great examples. I'd be fun. um I guess there's a little bit in my mind, and I don't think I've ever verbalized this before, but I must have thought it. I lost my dad when I was quite young, and in fact I learned that that was one of his biggest worries, that the same would happen for me. And well, it kind of did when he passed away unexpectedly. And I guess I'd be a little bit worried about that happening to my kids, you know. But also, it's my current circumstance. We got four of you here, and I don't know. I, I mean, some of the things I'm thinking of saying right now, I have said in other videos, just not recently, and it might take some searching. So I'm trying to decide whether I should say them again. I think I'd feel a bit more better once I hear a bit more from JK, which reminds me, I recently learned Does anybody, without Googling, does anybody know what J.K. Rowling's first name is? I don't remember what the K stands for, but I recently learned what the J stood for, and it's not what I would have guessed. And I'd like to hear from the other person. We got 2 out of the 4 still here. Let's chat a little bit, and then. But I do kind of get what you're saying though. Like having kids is a sense of purpose. It's you know whether you're saying it as somebody who has kids or not, it's something that keeps you, you know, even if you have a fairly relaxed lifestyle, they just keep you busy. Just kind of the way they are, right? I'm close to 40 as well. So okay, I'll let you guys put more comments, and I'll be right back to look at them. Well, I'm not going anywhere, but I'll look back at the screen in a moment. Canada, you? Part of me wants to be very honest, with kind of a little bit, expand a little bit more on what I was saying. Okay, do you like living in Trump land, or just curious? And how about the other 2 of you? But it's going to be very much a day for that. But with people that although some are strangers, there are reasons why I'm comfortable about it. It's fine. I don't want to get hugely political, but I kind of am curious if I have Trump fans watching. I kind of am curious. And remember to like and subscribe and all that stuff, especially if you're not Trump fan. Bear in mind, I'm in Canada, I like to say, but he kind of you know works with Canada a lot, Canada's politics. I'm not even into Canadian politics that much, to be honest. I think as long as we try and be good citizens, um, politics can be disappointing. Well, but almost predictable in a lot of ways. Like we know it's messy. Yeah, I know I've said a lot of stuff, so I'm just gonna let you reply to a bit more of it. Would be lovely, and we'll go from there. The one thing I'm thinking of sharing, though, like, as long as you accept and believe me, and I know because I'm me, I really am thinking I might. I mean, first of all, I think that well, there's 4 of you here now, but acceptance and respect is a good thing, that we all want, really, right? And so and I do believe you, as we got 5 of you here now, that you have to give it to receive it. Although, I mean, the only exceptions I would say to that is, like, say, a stranger who you haven't really had any interactions with, who has not necessarily given you, will then be the first one to, right? Um, and I mean, everybody has bad days, but I think that you should still try to be that kind of person, um, because it actually would actually improve your day as well, right? To 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 uh, to be kind, and to be helpful for other people when you can be, right? Thoughts, y'all? I'm thinking you're agreeing because you're all three of you are still here. I'm not sure. Sometimes it's a little bit wonky as far as like the like button doesn't stick. Are you happy with life? What a question. Which makes me think that this is the first time you viewed my channel. Not that I'm always about, not that I'm always like, what word do I use? Like complaining or whatever. Sometimes you have to get things off your chest, right? And I've done some of that lately on here. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. And some people may say that's normal. Um, I don't know. There's a part of me that would say in more ways no than yes. But the parts that I am happy about, I'm quite happy. It's just that I feel like life has been very basic lately. Like I've been struggling to achieve goals, to um, make connections, although I do it online. Um, you know, financially, it's improved a little bit, um, but not because of employment, um, which I honestly do kind of feel mixed about. You know, I do. I hope that the day flies because I, in between grocery orders, and I'm hungry. Hoping to have a free lunch at something today. But are you happy with life? That's the other thing I was going to ask. And if not, what parts do you feel could use improvement? That's actually pretty good. And thanks for asking, by the way. I don't want to keep rambling if maybe you're one that struggles to listen and type at the same time. I say type, send as much as you have at any point in time, and at least Sorry, I'm having difficulty with these damn pillows. I kind of want to have one behind my neck. It's a bit sore, but yes, I am. I would say I'm pretty happy. Well, that's good. Well, it's just you here. I don't know though. Part of me thinks that I feel like I do want to address this, and I won't be. I'm sure I have won't be the first person that will bring up this conversation with you, or has, or will. But you say it's fine to live in the U.S. I guess this is the thing, and the viewer. But let me just see, or at least it looks like you have. Are you still here? Because sometimes it does that. And if not, maybe your phone died or you accidentally clicked away, and hopefully you'll be back. I'll wait till I know for sure to say anything else. Okay, cool. Yeah, there is the whole thing of being happy to be where you're from or at least where you live. And I'm not sure if that's what you mean or if you're happy because Trump's your president. Because I certainly know that a lot of people are proud to be an American. Um, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the sunlight's last gleaming? Ooh, bright stripes and bright stars. The person that just tuned in is like, oh, the anthem's happening. Let me stand up and stand at attention. You don't have to, but if you want to, then go right ahead. The gallantly stream and the rocket's red glare as it bursting in air. There, you got a bit of singing out of me. I don't care that much about politics. I'm just happy about where I live. Okay. Well, you're the only one here at the moment, and I'll do it like I did before. Whether it'll come out as poetically or as well as it did before. I don't know. So, and I actually have something open on my other device, which could totally prove it if I need to. I, in more ways than one, probably. I well, fit feminism. I am actually in a relationship with a guy, but into both. Actually, into kind of the sort of the gender spectrum, and I may well find out a bit more about. I mean, I already know that I am, but um, that today, some of the people I'm going to be around, perhaps, if the event's happening, this I'm still waiting to find out. But so, what did I just say? I mean, a lot of people that are very black and white, and they hear one thing, and then their mind sticks in a certain way. That's not what I just said, though. Think about how I just mentioned how I said what I said. I will also add to that. So I am not, I am not opposed to, although my partner accepts me, um, isn't interested in being with a woman. I'm not opposed to it. And so, therefore, I could potentially have kids someday. But and there is an age difference. I feel like I should wait. I could be wrong. I've had women before. I feel like I should wait until he gets older and passes away. Maybe I'll meet a woman, and I'm not against that. You know, at that point, though, I'll be probably close to 60, which is a little bit old. I mean, not that people don't do it, but it's a little bit old to have kids, right? But, some people, as they get older, they feel more energy. Certainly, lots of people don't. I feel like an old soul. I sometimes feel like I'm older than I am. But maybe when I'm that age, if I get to that age, I will be like, yeah, I got tons of energy. I could do this, And then it's just a matter of, and I think I have pretty good genetic. I have some are genetic, some are, the opposite of that when you kind of, have things that become who you are that aren't genetic. Um, but yeah, so your thoughts. But it's 2025. I mean, I said it very clearly. I'm surprised you heard it as just that way. Or you just think that I am. But if that's the case, I mean, I was watching someone the other day. Well, maybe I'm not going to specify, but for instance, I'm not going to show her face and kind of. Well, but then I also thought piercing. So are we okay, JK? And does that stand for your initials, or? I mean, are we okay with each other? It looks like you're still watching, so. It's only you here right now. For instance, not a great picture, but I do like that. You know, I'm an adult. I'm also meaning to put in here. I just want to remember for future videos that I want to add to future. Most of them don't are already too many characters to do so. Titles. Um, Free-spirited combo, because that's kind of a good heads up. I don't think I should release that. I didn't intend to. JK, are you still there? And if so, what's going through your mind now? And if it's the other person that's still here, what's going through yours? Happy to have you here. Okay. Okay. I appreciate that. And you're still seeing me as a brother. So I guess that means I have your acceptance. Now, this kind of connects to something later today as well, probably. And I guess now, perhaps. Um, and I've talked about this, and again, maybe I've shared it better, but I'll do my best in this moment. Being that I'm bisexual, um, I think it's brought me more in touch with the feminine side. That I'm not the most feminine guy, but I definitely am somewhat. And intimately, romantically, I'm not around women. In kind of general, I mean, like I'm already quite a bit these days, but this week a little less so. But I'm not around the opposite very often. So, the thought comes then to kind of um and like on that side of thing, any that I've ever been with in that way have actually all been ones I've dated. And actually two of them I wasn't with that in that way because they were distance relationships. But and part of me is kind of proud with that. Like, if I was, I mean, I'm pretty smart to be safe, but if I was to have had kids, I don't kind of care. I do what I needed to do. If that meant get on assistance, government assistance, as I needed it. Um, I would say in my 20s, I probably made, well, it's not that I had any more work experience, but I may have been a bit more able to do more jobs. Um, but I certainly wouldn't be a deadbeat. I'll just say that. But, uh, but, um, it's okay to explore and appreciate various people in various ways, including in that way, as long as it's consensual. So I but there's a part of me that's kind of proud of the fact that it's only been with those that I've dated, as far as that goes. On the other side, I haven't actually dated any. So the one with now is kind of the first kind of 8 years too. Are you? I'm agnostic. I would say I'm agnostic, and I think that's pretty well rounded, right? And I'm well rounded. I'm a little bit Buddha. Anywho, and actually, there is a guy. I don't know him. I know his wife. No, she's just a friend. She's not even in the same province. Um, and she told me recently that her husband agrees that most men have a feminine side. They just don't really acknowledge it or accept it in themselves. That does not mean that they also can't be super masculine. And I would say that macho is comes across as cocky and usually not very liked. They can they can think, oh, yeah, usually depending, um, but take the nacho instead of the macho. But yeah, and I've shared in the past, actually, um, a little bit more about this person's husband anonymously. She's caught him wearing her bras before. Let's just say that. So I mean, now, yeah, some people would say, "Oh, okay, then that must mean he's gay." No, not necessarily. And that's where, not as much as it used to be, that's where society gets confused sometimes. You know, um, for some reason that I'm not really sure of, because they feel like they would have to pick, so everyone else should too. I don't know. Or religion sometimes, but my religion is kindness and love, um, at the root. Um, but yeah, and actually, I've never understood. Sorry to say it, but I've never understood guys that are with a woman for a while, married even, and then suddenly say, "Okay, I'm gay now." Like, just because you decide you don't want to date a woman anymore, or you feel stronger towards men, you're still bi in my book. A lot of older guys especially, but not only, would say that they do it because they do it because of how things were back then. And I do understand that a little bit. But if then you decide to go for the other team in modern days, same with feminism, like things are different than they were back then. But still, there's reason to do to keep the I don't know how to phrase it, but you might know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, again, I still wouldn't say that you are. You just decided, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate when a lot of guys end a relationship because of that. Because to be quite honest, if they were just more open with themselves and truly did like both, a lot of them's wives actually would, or partners would support them. From what I've heard, a lot of them, might even like be into it, you know. I mean, and simply just want their partner to be happy, and realize that they aren't the only one, romantically or otherwise, that can bring that person that happiness. When things are consensual and there's empathy, yeah, not that zero, but then two now. When it's consensual and there's empathy, then I'm not going to say that cheating goes out the window, because I have heard that some poly people are very, very specific. Like they it's all about communicate. Some of them, everybody's different. It's all about communicating things, and making sure everybody knows what's going on. Although some people say, I don't want to know. You know, you're having if it, I accept that. You're gonna feel for other people if you're being safe and you're being respectful, and you know it's stuff to really kind of, you know you have to get yourself you know in a certain mindset, and used to it sometimes. But some people would say that's fine. I don't need to be involved in this and that, just go have fun. you know but some people, maybe because they feel like they've been excluded a lot in life, or they just FOMO or whatever. I'm 39. You're asked after we talked about all this. But you know what? Kids know a lot of stuff. I mean, because I do sometimes get kids on this channel. I'm a free spirit. I'm not used to having kids. Yeah, and I've talked about that. And how. But anyway, but yeah. So, but I do wonder if some guys. Again, I'm going to say mostly guys. One, because I mostly am one, but also because that seems to be what I hear about. I think maybe they just do it because they want to have kids. And but science has also come a long way. Okay, we're close. Cool. Yeah, that guy on that talent show, when he was joking, he says, "Oh, it was 86," and he was saying his age. I was like, I'm definitely not 3 years younger than I think I am. I may sometimes think I'm a year off, but he was being a goof. But yeah, so yeah, you asked if I was religious. Are you? And I think you were saying that stupid about guys. You know, I don't know. I've always been very rare, and I've always accepted myself, even though sometimes it's hard. Some people have a hard time with self acceptance. I struggle to understand that, and it's not that I'm It's not that I'm wanting to make anyone feel bad when I say that, but I guess I'm a very, well, mostly, I'm an is what it is type. You would say that you are. Okay. And we're finding common ground, and we're having respect for each other, right? So I appreciate it. You haven't really said that you support it, but you're showing it, I would say. So, and with the not with my nonverbal, believe it or not, it's not necessarily what it sounds like it is, and my autism spectrum thing. But everybody is different, and I'm usually pretty able to kind of see the nuanced in things. Um, so we got three of you here. One of you I'm chatting with. The other two are welcome to join in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And what is this channel about? Since it seems like it's your first time here, wellness, uplifting. I do music if you have a song request. In fact, you say you would say you are, which doesn't sound like you're strongly religious. And even though I have some mixed feelings, especially if I connect it with, thoughts of the day and this and that, I noticed that my spouse actually found a music book that is faith songs. And maybe I should get it out and play a little bit. I can roll, please hold me to this. Tell me, okay, you should wrap up. It's been half an hour. I can roll for another half an hour. Then I want to rest. And then, do some other stuff. But let me take this to the piano. I could do it on guitar too. Which would you rather, actually? I mean, you can make any song request that you like, and I may or may not know it and be able to do it, but I can pull it up on the internet if I need to. Guitar, okay. Yes, I almost got a gig on Wednesday, but it doesn't look like I'm going to, so I'd actually put the guitar not hidden, but out of view. Yeah, you hear a lot of piano, do you? But turn that off. A little chilly. I'll do a couple songs at least. I'll do a couple songs. Got time for that. Thank you for making this worth it today. Remember to like if you haven't yet. Oh, was that a call coming in? I'm not sure. The phone lit up, but I think I pressed something. Okay, so in this book we got Amazing Grace, Good Father would kind of fit with a little bit of what we were talking about, even though it means you know who. Sing a song you like. I'm saying the ones that I know and feel comfortable with, so you can pick. How Great Thou Art, King of My Heart, I think I know. Mighty to Save. I did enjoy Come to the Table, kind of. And it doesn't have to be religious either. And any song can kind of relate to religious things, whichever one you want to sing. Clearly, I sometimes struggle to decide, but okay. I keep meaning to learn Build My Life. Are you into CTD at all? Because I've always thought that this song kind of sounds like them. 22. Let me see here. I'm going to try this one. And if the phone rings, I do have to answer it because I'm waiting on a call, like I say, but it won't be 5 minutes. It's just that yes, it's happening, or no, it's canceled. Sorry, it's an old guitar and old strings, but yeah. I'm not confident with that song. Yeah, you really have no particular songs you'd like to hear? That one's off flats. I'd have to do that on the piano. I missed something. I just noticed. Okay, no, I didn't. I saw that. That's off flats too. I do appreciate your patience. I promise it'll be worth it. I do sometimes struggle to choose, but I got the book here. So, okay, I guess this one. I've always liked this one. Interestingly, on the topic that we were just speaking about, by the way, I once sang this with someone I didn't know very well, but I was around them. There was a guitar. And they were trans. Now, I'm not. And I do think I have one of those voices that has a lot of personality in it. I don't know how to say it. But it was interesting to sing with her because mostly she had a deep voice. But yeah, anyway, I actually saw an audition on one of those audition shows where the person very obviously was going between the two. And it was quite something. Not necessarily surprised, but anyway, here we go. Take a sip of water first. I appreciate your patience. It doesn't look like you've liked yet unless it undid it unintentionally. Okay. Everyone needs compassion, a love that's never failing. Let mercy fall on me. Everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of a stranger, the hope of nations. Savior, he can move the mountain. My God is mighty to save. God is mighty to save. Forever, author of salvation. Rose and conquered the grave. Yeah, he conquered the grave. Take me and find me, all my fears and failures. Fill my life again. I'll give my life to follow everything I believe in. Oh, I surrender. Yes, I surrender. Savior. That's what at least looks like it is, but maybe it didn't. Savior, you can move the mountain. Mighty to save, mighty to save, forever, author of salvation. Conquered the grave, yeah, he conquered the grave. Shine your light and let the whole world see. Singing for the glory of the risen King. Just shine your light and let the whole world sing. For the glory of the risen King. Savior, he can move the mountain. Mighty to save, mighty to save. Author of salvation. That's basically. And I appreciate your compliment, by the way. Yeah, I do have a bit of a sore throat. The past couple of days, as I was mentioning when I started this video, I didn't know if it was some sort of, I don't know. I'll do one more. I always enjoy playing it. Kind of fits with the theme. That being said, as much as as long as people are kind to each other and um, curious and all that stuff, I don't think that and let me not show afterwards. If you haven't liked, I don't know why you haven't liked it. Maybe you are trying to, but I'm glad to have your comments. But yeah, I don't like to get too religious on here because I know it just turns some people off. It won't speak to some people, and I don't want to turn those people away. Because they may come to believe, but I totally understand sometimes why they wouldn't. Uh, and this song actually is a very kind of diverse song. That I did once before, and I did a bunch of music that day, and people seem to like it, and I mostly agree with it. So this is going to be "Come to the Table." Do you know it? And I don't really hear that, and I'm not judging. And then I'll wrap this up. So glad to have you here, but I'm sure you have other things you're going to want to do, and I do today as well. So, okay, here we go. I'll start on the outside looking. This is where grace begins. We were hungry, we were thirsty, with nothing left to give. Oh, the shape that we were in. Just when our hopes seem to fall, love opens the door for us. He said, come to the table. Come join those who have been redeemed. In their place, find the Savior. Sit down and be set free. Come to the table. It's a big song for my current ability, but come meet the mother. Let's exchange that you brought with. You can leave it at the door. Let mercy draw you near. Come to the table. Come join those who have been redeemed. Take your place beside the Savior. Sit down and be set free. Come to the table. Come to the table. The doubter, the hero and the coward, the prisoner and the soldier, the young and the older, the hunger, all the thirst, all the last and all the first, all the paupers and the princes, all who fail, you've been forgiven, all who dreamed and all who suffer, all who love and lost another, all the chained and all the free, any all who follow, all who lead, anyone who's been let down, all the lost who have been found, all who are labeled right and wrong, everyone who hears this song. Come to the table. Come join those who have been redeemed. Take your place beside the Savior. And do other songs, other types of music as well. Just not metal. No. Down and be set free. Sit down and be set free. Come to the table. Down and be set free. Come to the table. And that's what they made. And Cornerstone for that matter. My hope is anyway, so there you have it. I think you're still here. Sometimes it's just a little wonky. I wish it was accurate all the time, but are you still here? We'll kind of wrap things up with each other for now. Yeah, so I want to thank our viewer. Hopefully the chat shows afterwards. If it doesn't, I've not deleted anything. YouTube just does that way sometimes. But I do want to thank our viewer for making this an enjoyable podcast. You know, hasn't been super active along the top, but you've certainly been fairly active in the chat, and I do appreciate it, obviously. And because I'm okay with my masculinity, I don't know if it's still you that's here, but realizing that I do have a inside, I am okay with the word bro. But we should maybe be careful with that language. But some of us just use it so out of habit and just kind of like not even almost in a gender way sometimes. Like I've heard chicks called dude, and they seem pretty feminine to me. I mean, that's something else I kind of wanted to briefly mention because I thought about it recently. You know, I do think, especially when they're like on the smaller, bigger side, I do think that some women are trying to get attention to themselves. But sometimes they just happen to have you know what, and cover it or not, it's hard to have that fact. So, I mean, speaking as someone who is attracted to such, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, I don't know what I'm saying exactly when I say this, other than that, you know, take things slow when you're getting to know people, slow-ish. And then if you sense that that's their personality, and you say you're trying to get attention to yourself, you know, with it's oh yeah, it's like okay, I like them. Otherwise, you know, it's just a thought I had recently, and not that it fits with necessarily, but it does in a way because we see the beauty, inner and outer, of everybody, hopefully. But I know that that's sometimes harder than other times. But I remembered you called me that, and it stuck with me. It stuck. I kind of because, like I said, I mostly have acquaintances these days. It's just the chapter of life I'm in, and so I don't really, even online, I don't really feel like people are calling me that very often. It's certainly not a bad thing to me, anyway. But so, and when we think of a certain something else, it's kind of like, yeah, but you've got a sister, and I got like, anywho, I don't believe anybody's still watching. This has been an hour and a half. I don't want to wait that numerology the whole 10, another 10 minutes. So I think I'm going to wrap up. And yeah, thank you. Take care. Have a great day, whatever's left of your day and week, and maybe we'll chat sometime during your week. Bye bye.